Good evening, everybody. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Welcome to episode 11 of the Thick and Spooky Ghouls podcast. And this podcast is going to be a little different. Our darling partner in crime, Meso, is recovering, so she will actually not be a part of today's podcast, but she is here in spirit with us. We're hoping for her to have a quick recovery and to, we just want her to take care of herself. So it's going to be a little different. You're not going to see as much cam today. You'll see a little bit of my cam every now and then, but it's primarily going to be a model stream. So I hope you guys are ready for that. But I'm happy to have you guys all here. So yeah, we're hoping for Meso to have some recovery because we love you and we miss you. And we really hope that you recover soon and you get the help that you need and the care that you need. We love you and we will miss you, and we will do our best to like carry on the show. We're just gonna carry the torch for you, baby. We're gonna keep the seat warm for whenever you're ready to come back and whenever you're not sick anymore. So we love you so damn much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am deafened and muted. Wait, what? Oh yeah, I am deafened in here. There we go. I am deafened here. Sorry, babe. Sorry, I'm like talking over here. So a couple things. We've got the grand opening for Tony. Tony, did you want a surprise bag or the crypto pins to start? Yeah, we've had some spooky noises, right? And yeah, so today we are covering internet lore, and we've got the beautiful Bryttersbear who will be joining us. And we're also going to have the amazing KatesElegy helping us host since our lovely, lovely Meso is not here. So wow, that ad is rolling. Surprise bag, you've got it, Tony. Let me get that surprise bag going for you. All right, you've got a choice between purple, orange, gray, yellow, and blue. That's what we got for you, Tony. And so today we're gonna have two topics, and then we're gonna have our ghoulish bites, which we're gonna have a little extra stuff on that one. And yeah, crinkle bag in the mic. Oh my God, Tony. Can I tell you something honestly? They all sound exactly alike, Tony. All of them exactly alike. All of them exactly alike. See, all of them are alike. So that one's the gray one. Nope, no Pokemon packs. I don't have any left. We've got the purple. We've got the orange, yellow, and then the blue. They sound slightly different. Okay, fine. There might be Dragon Ball Z packs versus waifu packs. You want the purple? You got it. You got it. You got it. Let's see what we've got in our purple pack, and then we'll get over to our screen so we can take a look at our beautiful co-host models and everything else. So we've got the purple pack, which has the waifu pack. And let's see what we've got here. And I'm going to turn on the fan because even though it's raining outside, it's hot, you guys. Oh, that's a new one. I actually have not pulled her yet. And she looks very familiar, and I don't know from what. Another new one. I'll take it. I'll take it. It looks like we've got a bunch of new ones. Oh, this is Shogun. Shogun from Genshin Impact. Look how cute she is. Oh, and she's got the little fox over here, which is Yaimiko. That's Yaimiko. And then this is a duplicate. We've seen this one before. What is that? This is the super rare, and what is she from? I don't know, but she looks amazing. What is that? What? Beautiful. And last but not least, we've got someone from HoloLive. It's our super, super rare. Oh my God. I think it's got the autograph. Yeah, it's got her autograph on it too. All right, let me go ahead and turn on the fan and get the models set up, and you guys could say hi to everybody. A waifu bot? I want a waifu. Yes, Kate, tell me about this. I want this. Oh, where'd Kate go? There we go. We've got Kate, we've got Brytt, and myself in our scene. This is what the podcast is primarily going to look like until we're showing you the slideshow. So it's going to be a lot of audio and a lot of looking at our beautiful models. But go ahead and say hello, Brytt and Kate.
Hello.
Meowdy.
All
I like how Daku's just laughing.
I heard meowdy.
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 I like it. So today we will be talking about internet lore things, and my topic is the Slenderman. And then when we come to the Ghoulish Bites, I'm going to show you guys a little special something that we have set up for the Thick and Spooky Ghouls. And we were going to have Meso open the package, but, well, that wasn't going to happen today, but I can't wait to announce it, so you guys will get to hear about it in the segment. So today my topic is the Slenderman. So if you guys are ready, I'll go ahead and get covering into it. Like I said, I'm feeling a little awkward today. I don't know why. It's just maybe, I don't know. It's been a week. And like I said, it's a little strange not having my co-host Meso with us, but she'll be back when she's good and healthy.
Yeah, go for it.
I might have to send her a little tripod for when she's not feeling well. She can still open the packs. Just live stream from her phone.
Oh, yes. Well,
I mean, of course, if she wants to. No pressure, Miso.
all right, so I will be discussing my topic today, which is Slenderman. And so, have you guys heard of Slenderman? I have a couple, like a little sticker that I made of Slenderman, as you guys can see. And so, Slenderman is something that was made in 2009. It was actually submitted to it was submitted to Something Awful. And it was a part of a Photoshop contest and it was the winner of the contest. I'm so sorry. The bike outside is really taking me out of my zone here. We got some bikes outside that are revving. So the origins of Slenderman, sorry. Slenderman was birthed from the creepypasta in 2009 and was created as a part of the Photoshop contest that was ran by Something Awful. And Eric Knudsen, aka Victor Surge, was actually the person that submitted the concept of Slenderman, and he actually won the contest for it. So this specific character was made as a part of a contest, and a lot of people are like, well, the Slenderman's fake. But well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. I have a couple ideas on what it could be. So we've got that. Let me go ahead and show you guys. For those of you guys that don't know what Slenderman is, let me go ahead and show y'all what was submitted by Eric right over here. This was the winning image for them. So as you guys can see, this is the submission that Victor Surge put in for Something Awful. And in the very background of all these children, you'll see a figure in the background right over there. If you guys can see it, it's a tall figure. If you guys can't see it, it's right. Can you guys see my mouse? I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but it's in the very back behind a bunch of them. And it's just standing there with its arms wide open.
I see him.
You see him.
I sees him creeping.
And the other popular picture is actually this one, where you can also see Slenderman in the background there with the weird tentacle things. So that was it. But the submission was definitely the first image for the Slenderman. And yeah, it won, but for some reason, where's my notes? My notes, I lost them. Please hold. Please hold. I'm lost. I'm scared. There we go. So the way Slenderman was described was being unnaturally tall and skinny, and it's a very humanoid figure that's very, very tall and thin, kind of like Jack Skellington if you think about it. And he's often depicted as someone wearing a suit and has a blank face for its face. It doesn't have any features or anything like that. It's just a white face. And it was later introduced in the lore that he had many tentacles behind him. And what he is often known for is stalking people, frightening them, traumatizing, and even abducting people, primarily children and young adults. So it was very, very popular. And so upon the introduction of Slenderman in the creepypasta contest, like a bunch of short stories came not more than a few days later, and it just took a life of its own. It literally, it just took off. Like, there was so many stories, it bred a life of its own, and went pretty strong. No, I did not read what it was inspired by, Kate. Please explain, because I thought it was just a concept that Victor wanted, or not Victor, I call him Victor, but Eric came up with. I know that it was inspired by, it was inspired by, oh my god, I can't remember who it was inspired by, but it was inspired by something, oh god. I can't remember actually. I vaguely remember seeing it, but I don't think I put it in my notes, babes. If you wouldn't mind enlightening us.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. So, the theory is that the Slender Man was based off of not just H.P. Lovecraft, but also a creature that is in German lore that wasn't a long-lived story called the Tall Man, who,
Yes.
very similar, you know, he lived in the Black Forest and would basically chase down kids until they confessed their wrongdoings to their parents. But
Okay.
the
Yeah.
the again, quote unquote rumor was that his suit, his elongated features that are featureless, were very similar to H.P. Lovecraft in
Yes.
his yeah.
He was mentioned a couple times in my research. I just don't know why I didn't add it to my notes. I think I was just anxious about something that I didn't want to research for this topic because we usually don't discuss it, but it's a part of it, so I can't be helped. So, one of the things that they said happens when the Slender Man is near you is this thing called the Slender Sickness. And apparently, the Slender Sickness triggers paranoia. It causes you to have nightmares. It causes you to have frequent, like, uneasy deja vu. And then it causes you to have amnesia delusions and sometimes even nosebleeds. That's what they call the Slender Sickness. And so from what I researched on the Slender Man, because there's a lot of games that were made by him, but from what I researched from the Slender Man, he doesn't actually kill anyone. He seems to thrive more on feeding off of people's fears, and he prefers to drive his victims insane due to just terrorizing them. So he doesn't really want to kill. He just wants to feed off of their fear is what the actual like what he stands for. But in some games he comes off as someone that kills. But Slender Man has this thing that you call proxy. And a proxy is a person that is selected by Slender Man. And basically, to become a proxy, you have to be selected by Slender Man, and then you have to leave your family, friends, loved ones, and and basically serve as a puppet for what the Slender Man wants you to do. And and for you to become a proxy, you have to prove yourself to the Slender Man. So you will be forced to perform specific acts to see if you are able to live with the Slender Man and be a proxy of the Slender Man. And so basically, that's the one thing is you don't know what the proxies are told to do. It's whatever Slender Man wants. But Slender Man doesn't directly kill people. But we'll get further into a proxy situation later on. So, it is very, very spooky. Yeah, I actually do like the design of Slender Man. I think that's why it was so popular. And it's timeless in a sense because it's wearing like a classic suit. And if you think about it, men's fashion hasn't changed much in the years. So it will stand time for quite a bit until our fashion has changed even further in the future. So it's a timeless piece, and it's creepy with no face, and then the tentacle thing is also kind of strange, you know. But yeah, it's just that as this lore or this creature was made, or as it was created by Eric Knudsen, it's just that other people started adding different aspects to the Slender Man that became a part of the Slenderman legend, even though that wasn't the original concept of it. Like the original concept really didn't involve tentacles, but for some reason tentacles were then introduced to the lore.
Interesting.
No, I did not get into the lore of being an organ robber. What? That didn't even pop up in my research once, Kate.
Yeah, so in later lore, they basically wrote his MO as impaling people on tree limbs, and he would take out individual organs and place them in bags and put them in the trees. All kinds of weird stuff.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's not
it
funny.
was
That's creepy. That's very creepy. Not
right,
funny.
right,
Don't
right,
laugh,
right.
you guys.
But yeah, so he was an organ robber in one of his lores. I don't know if it was part of the game, but it is one of the MOs.
So I am not a minion, Miso. I wasn't selected by it. Miso's like, that was an evil ass laugh, Daku. Yeah, I shouldn't have laughed at that. That was funny, but not funny. Don't laugh, you guys. The Slenderman's not funny. So, one of the theories that they have for the Slender Man is they believe that yes, the Slender Man was created by someone else, but they also see it as a tulpa. And for those of you guys that don't know what a tulpa is, it's a belief by the Buddhists that that the thought of a person, or just the more you believe in a person, the more it materializes and gains power by doing so. So it's one of those things that people say that the Slender Man, yes, it was made up, but it gained power because of how much it grew in popularity and how many people believed in it, that it became an entity that existed because people believed in it so much that it became a tulpa in itself. And a couple examples of what a tulpa is for those of you guys that don't know or I'm not explaining very well is the boogeyman is considered a tulpa, the Easter bunny is a tulpa, Jack Frost is a tulpa, Sandman is a tulpa, Santa Claus is a tulpa. Then we've got the Tooth Fairy, Bloody Mary. The elf on the shelf is now believed to be a tulpa, and all of Santa's little helpers are tulpas. And the funniest one, but people are going to find this a little bit upsetting, is people believe that Jesus Christ is a tulpa. So, yeah.
Makes sense.
So basically, being powered by the belief of people. So kind of like when Tinkerbell dies and Peter Pan and all the kids say, I believe in fairies. I believe in fairies. It brought the fairy back to life. So basically, Tinkerbell was kind of treated like a tulpa because the belief in her is what brought her back to life in the story. So that's what a tulpa is. So a lot of people think that the Slender Man gained power, even though it was fake. It became a real thing because of how many people actually believed in the Slender Man. Another theory, which is a less popular theory, and it's a theory that I am more aligned with, or I feel is a little more towards what I would more likely believe the Slender Man is the theory that the Slender Man is probably a rebirth of a forgotten legend, or a legend that wanted to find a way to exist in our society now by being a part of the tech or being a part of the internet. So, there's a Japanese yokai called the Noperabo. And the Noperabo means faceless monk. And basically, the Noperabo is a yokai, and like the Slender Man could possibly be the rebirth of a Noperabo who wanted to use the internet for what it needs and find a way to exist within the internet. So being rebirthed into something different. So it might have been an idea that Eric came up with, but it might have been influenced by the Noperabo because it wanted to be rebirthed into what our current society is. Miso flipped it. Oh no.
I believe you on that, because I mean the mainstream media always has a spin-off of that, like Jumanji,
Mm-hmm.
the Crooked Man, Uncanny Annie. All these movies have what would be, I guess, considered a yokai that live on within a game. Hey, Bloody Mary, check it
Yep.
out. All of
So
that.
for me, I did research because this was a theory that was briefly mentioned somewhere else, and the more I thought about it, the more I did research on different mythologies, different things from the past that might have been forgotten. And one of them that showed a faceless creature is the Noperabo. So let me show you a couple pictures of what Noperabo are. So right here, this is an example of a Noperabo. You can see that it looks 100% like a human, except for its face is blank. And here's another beautiful example of an Noperabo. That's also a Noperabo right there. There's a movie called The Tall Man, and it's not very good. Well, is it one of those movies you want to watch during Halloween to laugh at? Yeah, so
No.
So part of me believes that the Slenderman could possibly be an Opera bow, but let me explain what they are to you to make you guys understand why I personally align with this more than anything else. Okay, so the Nopeta bow is known as a faceless ghost, and it often takes the form of humans and actually blends in very well with Sorry for technical issues. It wouldn't be a week of the super moon without a bunch of random shit going wrong, right? Am I right? Am I right? Please
Sounds
understand me.
about right.
Wait,
Sorry.
didn't we just leave Mercury retrograde though?
Yeah,
Didn't we
but we also got a
end that?
super moon plus we've got Saturn taking hold of my sign. It's a crazy. Let's not get astrological here. Are we good, you guys? Hopefully we're back.
Should
Sorry.
be.
All right.
I think it's too late. I think we're all astrological all the time.
Damn it. All right.
Sorry.
Oh, of course it's going to run an ad now. No, you will wait. You will wait, Mr. Ad. All right. Sorry, you guys. Okay, so let's go back to my concept of what I think the Slender Man could be. So, like I said, I believe that the Slender Man could be the rebirth of the Noperabo, which is the faceless ghost who can take the form of humans, except for it can't develop a face. Kind of like with Ditto. Ditto can transform into anything, except for it just can't change its face. You know? So, basically, the Noperabo are mostly harmless, but they basically transform for the sole purpose of scaring and frightening humans. So that's another reason is that they feed off of people's fears. So Slenderman feeds off people's fears. No Parabo is a faceless creature that also feeds off people's fears. So like I said, they're mostly harmless, but they do like to hunt together. So it's not uncommon for Noperabo to hunt in packs. And so they often work together to scare the same target. So they often are found in dark alleyways and places where a person can be alone. And that's when they claim their target is if they see a person pretty much alone and vulnerable, they will go for it. So, for example, a man can be walking down an alley and one will lure the man by calling for help because it hurt itself or it fell or it screams for help. And so the man will naturally run to try and help said person. And when the man asks them how they're doing, they'll immediately turn around and show their face, which has no face. And so what happens is they'll scare the person by showing them their face after like luring them over to them, and the guy will run in a panic, and so he'll run and try and seek help from other people, and so he'll run into a person that's walking away, and then he'll scream saying, hey, this person's in trouble or this happened to me, and then when he grabs that person's arm to turn them around, it's another one without a face. And so, as this person is going on a panic run and encounters different Noperabo that are hiding their face and expose their face to frighten this human even more. And that's how they usually hunt, is they hunt in packs and they primarily feed off of people's fear and fright and panic. Noperabo can, because they can't change their face, they are often they're usually hiding their face in the shadow, or they'll wear a mask during a festival parade so they can join amongst people, and they'll remove the mask to expose their face to a person that they wanted to scare. Or some will hide behind an umbrella or a fan or something along those lines. So they have different ways of doing it. So the reason I kind of see the possibility of Noperabo being rebirthed into Slenderman is for them to adjust their hunting style through the internet to also evolve with our technology now. So that's what a Noperabo is, which I think are really, really cool creatures. I didn't know how many yokais I would encounter after I did my yokai episode with Foxy and Meso. And now I do my research and there's I don't know, yokais have been popping up left and right for me. Redneck says, I learned from Reddit, always assume everything is a trap, especially something like that. Assume it's a trap until you know it's not.
Yeah, sounds about right. Everything's a trap until it isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, even when it's not, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
No, you're right.
What'd you what'd you guys think of the No Parabo? I think they're kind of cool, but you can see why I would feel like it could possibly be a rebirth of Slenderman.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Well,
had
I
to take
mean,
you. You asked me as soon as I took a drink. Go ahead, Kate. Sorry.
It's okay. Go on.
you're good.
Have you guys heard of the No Parabo prior to today?
No,
I actually have.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that iteration of the same thing because, like I said, the tall man's very similar.
Yeah.
It's just, and it does the mimic thing, like voices and things, but it's more German. So,
It's German, so it's scarier. It's just
Right,
scarier because it's German.
well, I mean, anyone yelling at you in German, like, would that not terrify you? I mean,
Isn't
if you had a
Knudsen?
choice
It
between
is
Japanese
terrifying.
and a choice between Japanese and German, which would you rather get yelled at in?
That's
Neither.
true.
They're both aggressive.
Yeah,
Like,
but I mean, Japanese is more poetic though.
It's
It's
true.
just
I mean, I guess. I guess you don't want someone yelling "Ich liebe dick" at you, which means "I love you" in German. So I mean,
yeah,
you know.
exactly.
Is Knudsen German last name? KNU. It sounds like a German last name. Eric Knudsen.
Yeah,
KNUDE. It sounds
it's
like a German
definitely
last name.
even his pseudonym is also
Victor.
yeah,
Victor Crumb. No, Victor Surge, not Victor Crumb. Sorry.
yeah.
All
Picture
right.
Chrome.
I mean, he could be Victor Kron.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't have like too much about the Slender Man, but basically I gave you the breakdown of what the research I found about Slender Man is. But unfortunately, I cannot talk about the Slender Man until we talk about what happened in Waukesha. So I know that this is a podcast. We usually have fun by talking about things paranormal, strange, and all that stuff. But we usually don't try and touch true crime because we do a lot of charity episodes with the Black Collar Collective. And we don't want to bring people down by bringing up true crime for the thing. So we usually try and stick with lore, stories, unnatural, unexplained, but never true crime. But I cannot talk about the Slender Man without actually touching into the brisk of true crime because of what happened in Waukesha. So there's actually a case called the Waukesha stabbings, which involves the Slender Man. So let me give you a summary of what this is and how it came to be and why. It's something that I have to talk about, bringing up Slender Man, because Slender Man is one of the roots of why the stabbing happened. So, the Waukesha stabbing was a case that happened on May 31st, 2024, which involved three little girls. Two little girls named Anissa and Morgan, both 12. Um, they basically lured their friend Peyton, also 12 years old, into a wooded area and stabbed her 19 times to appease the Slender Man. So there was an actual case of two 12-year-old girls that stabbed their friend 19 times all over her body because of the Slender Man. So, Anissa and Morgan wanted to become proxies of the Slender Man. As you guys know what proxies are, they're servants of the Slender Man. So Anissa and Morgan wanted to become proxies of the Slender Man, and they believed that they had to prove themselves to the Slender Man by sacrificing their friend Peyton. So one day they had a sleepover and hung out with each other and basically hung out. And the mom said that they all seemed like they had a good time. It was a typical girls' sleepover. And the next day, they decided to go and play some hide and go seek. and they wanted to play hide and go seek near some woods. It was, hold on, which woods it was? Hold on, which one was it? I know I added to my notes. Did I delete it from my notes again? Oh yeah, they hung out. They were playing at a park called David's Park near Waukesha, Wisconsin, and so they all decided to play a game of hide and seek. So while they were playing a game of hide and seek, Anissa and Morgan both pinned down Peyton and proceeded to take turns stabbing her up to 19 times on her legs, her arms, torso, and they actually managed to stab two major organs. And after they attacked Anissa and Morgan, they told Peyton to hide and stay there, and they will go out and find some help. But really, they were going to leave her there to die. But Peyton managed to drag herself to find help and was found by a person, and she was immediately driven to the hospital, and she was in surgery for over 6 hours, and she was in the hospital for 7 hours. And of course, in this happened, they asked her what happened, and she explained that she was stabbed by her two friends, Anissa and Morgan. So so while she was doing that, it took them about 5 hours after the stabbing to find Anissa and Morgan, who were walking around. And when the police found them, they had possession of the knife they used to stab her, and was questioned where they were going and what they were doing. And their response was they were heading to meet Slenderman to join him in his Slender Mansion. So there was a whole case that happened.
Christ.
Yeah. There's a whole case that happened, and where they were, like, they were actually tried as adults in Wisconsin. Like, when it comes to anything to do with attempted murder, you are immediately tried as adult, even if you are a minor, and you are treated as such and judged as such. So despite all of that, they were actually both found not guilty because of mental disease and defect, and were instead committed to a mental facility. And they were supposed to be there. Anissa was sentenced to 25 years to life, and Morgan was sentenced to 40 years to life. And
Did you
after,
know it was actually Morgan's birthday as well?
yeah, it was their birthday party. That's why they hung out and had a
Mhm.
party, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was wild. Yeah, it's a real big thing, and the hide and seek was when they were supposed to be asleep for that, and so yeah, that's why it was a little more awkward that they were just walking around at night.
Right? It's just fucked
Yeah.
up. I just can't believe it. Like, can you imagine? Oh, it's my birthday. We're gonna stab someone today.
Right. Well, before the lead up to it, they were having like they were becoming more distant and having a falling out. And as you mentioned, it was mental illness or defect. They actually diagnosed Morgan herself with schizophrenia.
Yep.
So she had like these paranoid delusions and like, oh, this is what Slenderman's telling me. Yeah. So it was rough.
Oh yeah.
It's a dark one, and I mean,
And
I
on top
think.
of that, they were all just 12 years old. Like for me,
Mhm.
just how young they were, it just I like I said, it was a hard case for me to even, like, for me it was hard for me to even do the research for this, and I literally did as best as I can because it really bothered me, because from what I know and what I've researched, it was also very common that Morgan and Anissa were frequently bullied, and they were actually like treated as outcasts by other kids their age because they were considered weird, and they spent a lot of time on the internet, getting lost on the internet because they didn't really have friends, and so they lived on the internet because people just didn't really like them or treat them very well, and they were kind of bullied and secluded from everybody else. And so it's
Right,
a
and
shitty
it really
situation
brought.
on all parts. It's shitty for
Right.
the girls that committed the crime. On top of them committing the crime, they were also like kids that were being bullied and also like struggling with mental health. And being
Mhm.
someone that age, you don't know who you are. and you're just trying to survive, and you're just trying to fit in and try and figure out who you are, and you end up making some pretty hurtful decisions in trying to survive.
Right, yeah, and I know with with the case it did raise a lot of awareness for mental health in general, and um I'm actually really surprised with, you know, the veracity of the attack that Peyton actually survived, because
Yeah,
she got, you know, the liver was damaged, they hit arteries, but that goes to show you that people will survive.
yeah.
That's wild.
I, for like just imagining her 12-year-old body go through that and still manage to survive, it's insane to me. So, Anissa was sentenced for 25 years to life, and Morgan was sentenced to 40 years to life. But only after 7 years, Anissa was granted early access, or granted early release. Sorry, not early access. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of gamer terms here. That's not what we're talking about. 7 years, Anissa was granted early release, but will be under supervision until she is 37 years old. And Morgan is still in there, I believe. The only one that I could research, that I could find information that was able to get off the sentence earlier, is Anissa. So Peyton actually has managed to go out and speak publicly about her experience. And she often mentioned her scars from the stabbing. And she mentioned that there was some jealousy coming from Anissa when it came to Peyton, because Peyton and Morgan's friendship was getting closer, as per Anissa and Morgan were getting further apart. And so there was some jealousy there. And they asked her if she ever saw Morgan again, what she would actually say. And Peyton responded that she would thank her because the attack that she suffered is what drove her to pursue her career in medicine. So not only did she survive, but she found her calling and joined the medical field because of this situation. And there's been several documentaries made about the Waukesha stabbings, which often, of course, mention the Slender Man. And because of this case, actually, the Waukesha School District actually blocked Creepypasta's wiki. And a former admin of the Creepypasta wiki stated that the stabbings was an isolated incident and was not an accurate representation of the community. And so another thing that the community did is the Creepypasta community held a 24-hour live stream on June 13 through 14, 2024. Oh, wait, is it June? No, it's not 2024. What year was that? Sorry, I'm getting my years mixed up because 24. But yeah, anyways, on June 13th through 14th of that same year, they raised money for the unnamed victim of the stabbing. And the reason they decided to actually stream and raise money for this cause is to show that their community actually does genuinely care and that they don't actually condone real world violence. The creator of Slenderman, Eric Knudsen, aka Victor Surge, released a statement of condolences saying, "I am deeply saddened by the tragedy in Wisconsin, and my heart goes out to the families of those affected by this terrible act."
I mean, if you're saying that all people are driven to be serial killers, it's like saying one of the best authors, Stephen King, who writes horrors, is responsible for people killing.
Exactly.
It's stupid.
But they did this in response to them being blocked in the school districts because they felt like it was definitely because it was a huge deal. It was all over the news, and it definitely didn't give the Creepypasta website a very good rep, and was affecting the actual website and the community itself. And so the people are all like, "That's not who we are. That's not what we're about. This is definitely an unfortunate situation that happened."
Right, I get that, but still, it's like saying reading a book makes you a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the harsh reality of it is everybody's going to find a scapegoat, unfortunately. They're always going to blame something else other than lack of education and mental health, which
Hmm.
That's what they need to focus on more, the education and mental health.
I
They
do.
try to go ahead.
No. I was just responding to your message saying that you not you knowing the true crime. I appreciate that you're here to actually give more information because for me it was really hard for me to research this because I knew that I would have to bring up this situation. So I like having your input as well and your perspective on this, especially with the true crime of it. I like to watch true crime on my own. Like on my own, I listen to true crime podcasts, but it's just not something that I am capable of talking about without getting super emotionally attached to it, you know?
Yeah, no, and I get that, and especially being it is a case that is very young individuals. It can really bring that mental health down. So definitely,
Yeah.
it, I think that they just needed to do more research into things, not blame it on the internet.
Yeah. But I think that because of Slenderman, it probably did prompt a bunch of kids that's never visited creepypasta because it happened to their classmate. Oh, they were stabbed because of Slenderman. They probably started it probably released a whole spree of all the students trying to figure out what Slenderman was or who Slenderman was,
Hmm.
and they were scared that other kids would end up getting influenced by the lore of Slenderman and will also do further crimes and hurt further people because of it. So I think that that's why the school district was all like, we gotta nip this because it definitely like created like a
A
funnel of
sensationalism,
kids
yeah.
researching what the Slender Man was and researching creepypasta because they want to learn more about this because it's something that they're exposed to and they're just trying to understand better or whatever. So they just went on a hyper fixation on it probably. And the school's like, we got to nip this in the
Right.
butt because we can't have this happen again.
Right. And I know that they did a lot of um limitation for their kids. A lot of people have done research into not just creepypasta, but also the SCP, and not that I'm agreeing with it, but a lot of parents and a lot of individuals who are concerned about this type of media did find it sensationalized and then moved into movies, more games, then you get into FNAF and all that, and so it gets a little muddy. It's always been, parents have this protection over games and internet, making sure that it is appropriate for children and, with access to internet and not always access to the limitation of the internet, they get a little more scared as well. So it's a weird two-sided coin,
Yeah.
and so yeah, it's with technology you get more outlet and more fear. Again, in an unfortunate situation though.
Yeah. It was pretty tragic. So, Slender Man, as you guys know, is still popular to this day. And there's actually been a lot of there's been a lot of like appearances of Slender Man in media, such as there's of course the collection of creepypasta stories about the Slender Man on the website, but there's also an episode in Gravity Falls' comic called Lost Legends, which shows Slender Man shows up in that one. There's a on season 3 of Lost Girls, Slender Man makes an appearance. Lost Girl is about the succubus lady. Hello, Nambin. Welcome in. Love Gravity Falls. Yeah, Gravity Falls is great. Supernatural season 9 had Slender Man. Law and Order. There was actually a Law and Order Special Victims Unit. There was actually a case that was in Law and Order, like one of the episodes for Law and Order, where they actually basically took the Slenderman stabbings and kind of changed it up for an episode on Law and Order. There was an episode in Big Mouth in season 2 where Slenderman was there. Um, there's a game called Beware of the Slender Man. There's a game called Slender. There's Slender Man 2017, Slender Man 2018, and there's just actually no, those are movies. Those are all movies. There's a lot of movies for Slenderman, a ridiculous amount of movies. There's also
I've played a few of the games and they're terrifying, actually.
the pages one scares me, where you're supposed to collect the pages. Oh god, oh
Mm-hmm.
god, oh god. Okay.
Yeah, where you start to lose your vision and
Mm-hmm.
start to KO. Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's definitely a jump scare for sure.
And there's actually been a lot of songs that were inspired by Slenderman. Yeah, songs, not just video games, not just episodes on cartoons and TV shows, but also songs. And there's actually a hostile mob that shows up in Minecraft called the Endermans, which is a nod to the Slender Man. And then there's a Slender VR game called The Arrival. Then there's the Slender Myth, and then the Slender Man clone. And that is all my information that I researched on the Slender Man. I told you my topic was going to be shorter than usual, but I tried to cover as much as I can and get involved there. And like I said, the true crime of it was pretty shaking. It's pretty insane. Is there anything you'd like to add to the Slender Man, my dear Kate? Or even Brytt, if you have information that I missed? Marble Hornets, yes.
I think we touched base on at least the majority of it. I mean, Slenderman's been around for a long time, and I think he's one of the most popular of the creepypastas so far.
Do you have your own theories or idea on what you think the Slender Man is?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. Well, like I said, we both have found origins in other cultures.
Mm-hmm.
So I do believe that it's very, uh, very much so a rebirth, and then, like you said, we will things into existence with our beliefs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like for example, and I don't know what Brytt and Meso's topics were going to be, but there's another entity online that they believe that they willed into existence, which is called the Rake. Have you
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
seen that? Oh my god, so
Yeah.
creepy. Yeah, so it was just an internet meme for a long time, and then they started seeing this creature. So like I said, I'm with you on the,
The
belief is a
rebirth.
powerful thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tulpas and rebirth. Do you have a direction that you're leaning towards Slender Man, my dear Brit?
I don't know what he is.
Mm.
I just know that that he's terrifying.
He is pretty scary. But
That's
that's
what
what he
I
feeds
know.
off of. The rake. Yeah. Yeah, that was what Miso was gonna cover, was the rake, and we'll get it next time with her whenever
He
she
had
comes
no
back.
torso.
Yeah, I'll try to keep my information on the Rake on wraps.
Unlock and
And
key.
I won't yeah, I won't talk too much about it, but wild. It is a wild. I'm sure Miso has to agree, looking into it. It is a wild experience, theory, everything in between. Oh my goodness. It's very juicy, and I hope that Miso shares this with you so that you can be shooketh like myself.
Yeah, I believe that that's going to be the topic she does for whenever she is able to return. So whenever she's able to return for our episode, that's probably going to be her topic that she's going to talk about. So I'm excited to hear about that.
I'm excited to see her interpretation of it, because it is fairly newer. It's probably, you got to really dig deep for it, but when you find it, it's like the dark web of of cryptids. It's wild.
And that's the Slender Man for me. So I'm going to go ahead and put our darling Brit at the helm of the ship to drive on for her topic.
So I technically have two.
Nice.
I'm gonna start with the shorter one, shorter-ish one, just because I really think people need to watch this, but don't believe it because we don't want these things in existence.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we already established that if we
yeah,
believe it, it comes true. So you
Shit.
guys,
it's just
we're
really,
trusting
it's
you
just
Shit.
not
really
to take
fucking.
I'm
this
easily
information.
influenced, you guys. This is bad.
It's so it's really
Listen,
interesting, and I love it. And I saw it on a YouTube channel called Nexpo. So I'm gonna be speaking on Local 58 and Gemini Home Entertainment, or GHE, and it's like a YouTube analog horror series that really confounded and captured internet lore. So Local 58 is a fictional public access television channel located in Mason County, West Virginia, and it
Oh, shit.
overlaps with GHE, so they're in the same universe, but they're two totally different types of programmings. Um, Local 58 started in the 1930s, and throughout its 11 episodes that it currently has, it continuously gets hijacked, which will make sense when I go into GHE territory.
Gemini,
Um,
Gemini, what?
Gemini Home Entertainment.
Okay.
So, Local 58 is more about giving you little slices. So, whether the kids' programming channel, which is absolutely terrifying, you wouldn't put this cute little French looking skeleton dude walking through a graveyard, finding dead bodies, and eventually becoming a completely dead body himself as a skeleton at the bottom of a grave
Oh God.
for children programming. But that's what happens with this, and
What?
his death is caused by the moon.
Okay.
So it kind of fits into your thing about not being near woods, actually, because as you watch Local 58, it gets hijacked this one time, and it's telling you don't go outside, cover your mirrors, don't look outside, don't look directly at the moon. But it gets hijacked, and it's like, go outside, go look at the moon. And you see live feed of people staring at a sentient moon that's like I can't pronounce it, that's like moving around, has extremities coming off of it, and it's absolutely terrifying to watch, and you hear all these people screaming. It doesn't make sense, right?
Why are they? Why are they
It definitely
screaming?
doesn't.
Why are
Yeah, it
they
doesn't make sense.
screaming?
Because
So you
the
have
moon is
to
sentient.
watch Gemini Home Entertainment, because there's no continuance to Local 58. It's little snippets of everyday things. So when you get into Gemini Home Entertainment, it kind of explains it a little bit better, because it's like these longer survival videos is what I would call them. They're telling you how to
Yeah.
survive the moon and what the moon's doing. So the
Yeah.
moon is believed to be the sentient being that's coming through and essentially collecting worlds and taking its living resources, be it bears, humans, whatever has a heartbeat is fair game.
Okay.
And there is one specific episode of Gemini of GHE. It's too long to say every time. So GHE has this one specific video of a man who goes out into the woods and teaches you how to survive this. You don't want to be around bright lights if you're hearing somebody yell for help, because it could be what's called a wood crawler. And
Ah! We're in the
yeah,
woods
it's
right now. I hate this.
so this ties into them. It kind of your real life event and mine being fictional. Like, don't go in the woods. They're bad. They're seen as bad because Gemini Home Entertainment teaches you how to play hide and seek with these things. And the wood crawlers like infect you, and it's fast moving. It plants roots inside your nervous system, takes control of you, and transforms you into a beast that's not able to be controlled, and you're taking up these resources for the moon.
What the hell just happened? Sorry. I lost you guys. Hold on. I'm here. I'm back. Sorry. I don't know what happened.
You're good. You're good. But that directly ties into the moon. That directly ties into that little cartoon from Local 58 about the little French skeleton dude just getting killed by the moon in a grave. So I'm not making it sound as cool as it is. I'm really not. But watch that. If you want to be creeped out and see like an alternate reality of America, Local 58 and Gemini Home Entertainment like nails it.
Miso
Okay.
says there's
Exactly.
nothing
Nothing's
scarier
good.
than French.
Nothing's
Exactly.
So what makes it French? What makes us? How can you determine
He's
that the
got a
skelly
little
is the
beret
French?
on. And
He's
he's
got a
got like a
beret?
The
little
beret
French
makes it French.
mustache.
The beret
Oh,
makes it
okay,
French.
listen. He has black pants on and he's got a black and white striped shirt on. He's got the beret and he's got the little
Yeah, that
mustache,
is.
okay?
Well,
Okay.
he could
He's
also be
French. He's fucking
Italian.
French.
Isn't that what they? Isn't that what they wear in
I
Italy
don't
when they're doing the
listen.
gondolas?
Okay, listen. When I first saw the skeleton, all I could hear was "wee wee baguette." So leave me alone. He's French.
Okay. So maybe Italian, but
I'm gonna rattle
definitely
your
French.
bone.
Gotcha. Okay. The French
Oh
be
my
rattling their
God.
bones. Yeah.
All right, so I didn't make that sound as cool as it actually is. I need people to watch it so we can discuss it. So it
So,
makes sense to people when it's
wait.
discussed.
What are we watching? What is it called?
Local
Watch
58. It's
Local
Local 58
58.
and Gemini Home Entertainment.
Wait. You know
And
what? You know what will give you the difference? Oh my God! Look what Daku just changed. She shapeshift.
I
What the fuck?
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Oh no! You did it again! Oh my God!
so
What's going on?
I would I would
Sorry about the
also,
wardrobe
if you want to
malfunction,
watch,
guys. It's okay.
if you also want to watch something that's like a little, that also kind of commentates while it's going, watch it on Nexpo, his channel, because he does a really good job at like narrating and commentating on these things.
Cool. I'm curious, but I'm also scared. Miso,
Just
you're
don't
gonna have to
believe
hold
in it,
my
it's
hand.
fine.
My
You know, if we're
easily influenced
commentating on
self
it,
is like,
you
don't
should
believe
be
it.
able to. You know, if we're commentating on it, you should be able to like put it in your screen and actually show it if you wanted to.
Oh God, do we want to do that? Wait.
I can.
I mean, do you want the chat to believe it?
No, that's why I said
I
watch
don't
Local
want them to believe it, but
58GHE,
here.
but don't believe it. That is what I pinned it right there. It says don't believe.
Right. Well,
That's
you
actually
know,
a note for myself.
in that new Freddy Krueger movie, they didn't believe him at first either, but he started infecting dreams, and everybody started believing it. And wait,
Okay, but Freddy's a different.
was that Freddy versus Jason? Actually, did Jason
Yeah,
start
that's
killing bitches
Freddy
on Elm
versus.
Street?
I think that's Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, and then they had the
Yeah.
dream blockers and stuff. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
wild. See, even the Freddy Krueger films.
Here, I can share
believe
a
that he
short.
was real,
I can
and he's
share a
coming
short
back.
snippet for everyone
Okay,
for the
yep.
Local
Let
58
me.
on Expo.
Yep, let me
Just
go
let me know
ahead.
when it's ready.
Hold on, I'm gonna go ahead and get our scene
Yep.
set up, and then I'm gonna maximize your screen. All right, I think we're live.
Oh, you're floating now.
All right.
And
Okay.
poor Brytt ain't got no legs. You ain't got no legs.
You.
It
I
was a
don't need
secret.
legs.
It was a secret.
You exposed her.
I'm sorry.
Her.
I'm sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
would also highly suggest watching What's Going On with Dad on Expo. It's really interesting. But we'll do. Where are you, little French bastard? There he is.
Hopper. Let's take it back. From the top,
Oh yeah, no, that's totally.
Local 58.
Hello, French guy.
He's French.
Yeah, I told you.
He's French. He's a mime.
Did I skip over the entire? Well,
Yep, you did.
Mother and God.
She said,
Help
"Don't believe
me.
it, everybody.
For
Don't
children,
believe it. You only get to see the
58
end."
most
just
recent
to
spread
prove
across.
that-
You're on the
that he was a
fast
French
sky
little guy.
watching.
So
And
this is
two
the moon. Right here.
channel trailers. A
Oh,
look back.
You could see it like
Sky watching. And two
moving
channel
and
trailers.
yeah.
A look back and station
I think
ID.
you were thinking of
For
writhing?
brevity's sake, we
Is that
won't
what-
dive much
Yes,
into the
thank
last
you.
two, as they don't seem to carry much weight
Yeah,
in
'cause
regards
the
to making
little-
headway into this
Little
investigation.
arteries are rising.
But rather, we'll hone in on the big six.
Thank you.
The main ones that carry the real brunts of what this cryptic broadcast station has to offer.
Meso says, "Oh fuck, he's French."
Let's take it back. From the top. Local
But he
58.
said fire Z missiles after you take it out.
And you can tell though that this is like in a very oldish 30ish style type of deal.
Rubber Host animation.
Yeah, and you can see their
Would get
God damn you.
Brood Hollow.
Okay, it shows you its little time cards and everything, and it's just there's this part about like how America's being taken over,
On public access.
and it puts up a presidential decree that everybody should go out on their front lawn and assume the freedom position, which is laying on your back, and then you know, doing the thing with a gun. And it's a wild ride. Like I genuinely
Cause
freedom.
Cause
And-
freedom.
and patriotism for your country or something. I don't know. Anyways, I get so excited being able to talk about this because I genuinely love it. Like everything about that fucking series is just it's wild. It's crazy to watch. It's crazy to see, and it's so cool that you get to see like just this weird story happen and unfold in front of you with no actual real life, well, kind of real life connection with the presidential thing. I think America would require that of us at some point if they really thought. Because America, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
French Skelly.
But yeah, fuck a French skeleton. It's my new sleep
Well-
paralysis demon.
Oh god.
But I think I'll dig it for sure. So I was like, you know who really dug it? That French Skelly.
Yeah, he fucking did.
we.
Actually, like
We.
3 people did. Him and the 2 we found in the grave. Meso, we should watch it sometime together because yeah, we should. Daku can join us and so can Kate, though.
That sounds like fun. Maybe we should do it in the BCC
I feel-
Discord and just hang
Ooh,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the pity invite
Yeah.
on this
Let's
one.
have an after.
It's
Let's
not
have
a pity invite. Shut up.
let's have an after party in the Discord after this and watch some.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Hell
down because I
Yeah.
want people to get into this because I need people to talk to about
But don't
this.
believe
And
it.
nobody else knows what it is.
But don't believe
God
it.
damn it.
Don't believe it though.
Don't believe it.
Don't believe it.
We're making a pact right
Don't
now.
believe
we're
it.
Gonna watch it, but we're not gonna believe it.
Yeah,
And,
don't believe
We're only watching it to scratch Britt's brain because she's got
Thank
an
you.
itch. She needs a scratch.
Yeah.
Thank you. My brain is very itchy.
But we believe nothing. We see nothing. We know nothing. Don't ask us.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So my
Yeah,
second
yeah.
topic that's going to be longer and is my main topic
Let's
is
freaking go.
I'm going to kind of put a trigger warning on it because it does mix in with true crime like Daku's did. So I just want people to be prepared for that. Mostly for the murder.
Right. This is the trigger warning episode. Anyone who's got a weak constitution or does not like the reality of true crime, just move on by and don't believe anything.
There, I put
I'll
the
give
trigger
people
warning.
a couple seconds, and it gives you a nice little cutaway for your stuff. So, all right, couple seconds over. All right, so background. So we're going to be going over what's called the Ghost of Carmel Lane, or the Lamb House, or the house with the mouth of hell in it.
Oh.
And the way I'm going to be describing these things is going to be used with Kent's verbiage on his take on this because he runs this YouTube channel, he doesn't monetize it, and he doesn't have like super special equipment like most ghost hunting channels do. So, just to preface everything. So, we're going to be talking about Kent Burris, who lives in the old Lamb House, which was a mortuary, not in the so distant past, maybe like 100, 150 years ago. This was a mortuary. Before he had moved in, there was a Freemason named Edmund Lamb, who was married to Hattie Lamb. And
Can
this
you
town was established.
briefly touch on Freemasons? Just briefly explain for people that don't know what they are.
So Freemasons are a secret secular society with so many different fucking levels to it. It's ridiculous. I couldn't even tell you all the levels, but essentially you pay a due like $100 a year, I believe it is, if I remember correctly. And a lot of people have this belief, and I kind of sort of agree with it in a way, that the Freemasons kind of help control things behind the scenes because very prominent people do actually have some sort of connection with the Freemasons.
Yep.
Thank you. So
Also,
it's go for it.
another connector for the Freemasons is actually the airport with the Blue Devil horse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like some theories that the Freemasons are behind that airport.
Oh, are you talking about the underground subway underneath the airport?
And it's also
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and in one of the tablets, they actually have the symbol of the Freemasons on one of the tablets in the airport. And so a lot of people usually tie the Freemasons to, what is the name of the airport? Oh my god. Is it the
I
Concord?
can't remember, but
I know what you're
yeah,
talking about, but I
basically-
didn't know that. I'm sorry, go ahead, Kate.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, I don't remember the name of the airport myself, but I remember hearing that the whole subway area is basically being it's unused.
It's
and
the
it's blocked
Colorado
off or
airport.
whatever.
That's the one. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the Colorado
and it
airport.
was supposed to be like a military base where they did experiments down there and like that. But don't
Yeah,
believe it.
okay. Yeah, don't believe it.
Yeah, I
And
plan on covering it
Illuminati is
someday.
accurate.
I plan on covering the airport in itself someday because it is such a cool airport with such dark stories attached to it, and even the artist behind the blue Mustang, it's just crazy. That like, I want to cover it someday. Maybe when we do another locations episode, it will be what I cover.
Ooh, that would be fun. Okay.
Yeah. It's
I'm off
wild.
track. Hold on.
Sorry,
Refocus.
we do that a lot in this
You're
show.
good.
We do that a lot here.
You are good. Alright, so this particular town was just becoming established in the 1600s, and then the 1900s roll around, and people were starting to disappear, and there were people starting to be murdered. So the most standout case for our purposes for this timeline and this particular segment is going to be a girl named Abigail and her now friend Naomi. And Naomi, super trigger warning, I just want to give you some background on how Naomi was murdered because it was terrible, and I believe she should have visibility and stand out for how she was murdered because this is common, and I believe she deserves this respect of being told her story. So Naomi was brutally murdered, and her breasts were cut off.
Wow. Okay.
So is it similar to like the Jack the Ripper case where they thought that it might be a misogyny thing?
They don't necessarily believe that, but that's kind of where my mind went with it. But
Well, it could be someone that wanted to eat the breasts. Like there's the serial killer that wanted to eat the butts of little boys, like the butt cheeks of little boys. So it could be the same concept
What the
with
hell?
yeah.
Ed Gein, right?
Ed Gein
Ed
liked
Gein, I was right.
Ed
no,
Gein
no, I
liked
didn't
to cut
know.
little boys.
I didn't know.
Yep. We're in true crime. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. We're all over true crime right now. We're just slapping all over
Yeah.
it. We're just touching
Well,
more
and
and more.
And this gets fucking crazier, just so you know. Like, it's fucking wild. So, her breasts were cut off, and the only mortuary in town at that time was Edmond, because of course it fucking was. So, on to today. Today, demons, shadow people, ghosts, and maybe even little goblins are running around this man's property, in his home, and in his basement, most notably.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's had paranormal investigators, mediums, regular run-of-the-mill people come into this house, and the warning he gives each is do not invite them to touch you because they will. They will reach out and touch you like a phone commercial, as Drake says. They will. There was one lady that Kent told, he was like, you need to not tell them to touch you because they will hurt you. And she said, yeah, go ahead, touch me. And she got basically punched by one of these spirits and had a huge bruise on her leg, like right on her thigh, because she invited this thing to touch her. So it bullied her the rest of the time she was there because
Oh.
they're dickheads.
Yeah.
So I do believe there are spirits and there are things we can't explain in life.
Yes.
And of course, all of this can be done with editing and effects, but I think Kent is very genuine in how he comes off, and I think he's very genuine in the way he treats this. I mean, he knows every spirit's name. He knows every. When I say spirits, I'm talking about the good ones. When I'm talking about the bad ones, I'm going to call them demons, just to kind of make a separator there, and so we aren't confused. But when he's talking to these spirits, he knows their names. He knows their voices, which is
Oh.
amazing because I couldn't tell you the difference between one of them. So
What is this case called? Sorry, I need you to read.
so this is the Ghost of Carmel Lane, or the Lamb House, or the House of Hell.
This is interesting. I would. Wow. Okay, go on. I am all in. It sounds amazing. It sounds
So
crazy.
it is. It's fucking wild. I haven't even got to the craziest part of all this. So he doesn't use any newer devices or cameras. He's encountered disembodied voices, shadow people, gnomes, and a variety of other supernatural beings in his home. And and like I said, he knows their names, he knows their voices, and they get pretty sassy with him sometimes. Like, he'll ask them something, and they'll come back and say, I just answered that. Yes. Like, they get sassy sometimes. It's kind of wild. Since picking up the camera and recording this house, he's had skin cancer 22 times.
Oh God.
22 times. And it's not, I can't remember the name of it, and I should have written it down, but it's not like, it's not the kind that's like super deadly as long as you catch it early. And thankfully he's caught it early every time. But he's also had his lymph nodes extremely swollen to the point it was moving his tonsils and making it hard for him to breathe. Like, he was close to death when he went into the hospital, and I promise this is all relevant info to what I'm going to be talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Go. Get it.
So they thought it was an infection. They thought it was cancer. They thought it could be some kind of bacteria. But then in a few days of being in the hospital, it started to go, like, the swelling went down almost miraculously, like, just out of nowhere. Nothing was touching this, and then all of a sudden he's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so now we have that. When people come to this house, they don't feel welcomed. They feel like they're being watched from every corner, and even before going into this house, you don't feel welcomed. He's used recording and those EMPs to, like, for electrical. I can't even think of what it's called right now. I'm an idiot. Wow. It's wild. I was so confident yesterday.
Surge.
The EMP things to detect
Electromagnetic
electrical fields
pulse.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Electromagnetic
that.
pulse.
It's the K2 meter. Is that what you're talking about?
The one that tells you if a ghost is there or not.
Yeah, there's K2 and
That
then there's a
one.
REM pod.
It was white and it was like rectangular and it had lights on it.
Yeah. So it kind of looks like a fan of lights across
Yeah,
the top.
yeah.
That's a K2.
That one. Okay,
Okay.
so a K2 meter. Thank you very much, Kate. I lost my place. So he's used these. He's picked up a bunch of chatter amongst these spirits and demons in his home, and most of them are terrified of Edmund. And Abigail and Naomi is kind of our central spirits of this story, because before death, Abigail was told to be like a very sweet girl and helpful, and she was just in general good. Her and Naomi would often ask Kent for help when he would talk to them, and he was kind of confused by this because he has no connections to these spirits. He has no idea who they are. And then he started going into their back story, asking them more pointed questions like, what's your last name? Where were you when you died? Things like that, that they were able to get right and lead him in the right direction for this information. Which sounds absolutely bonkers, but here we are with a whole YouTube channel based around these spirits that he's helped, and it's just crazy to think that you could do that with a spirit.
Yeah.
Eventually, though, Abigail actually led him down to the basement, and she led him towards a specific area in his basement where he had to tear out like 4 or 5 bricks so he could fit through it. And this is the wild part. Once he got in there and he pulled out what was in there, there was human bone.
Oh.
And it was Naomi's bones that Abigail led him to.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, not many people are going to rip up their own home just to find this. So, I feel like that lends a little more credibility to his story in a way, because nobody's going to just randomly go there and be like, this wall looks good for breaking down. Let's get to it.
Yep.
Yeah. After kind of digging around and finding this, he also was told by Abigail to rip up his bedroom flooring. He did. He ripped up a few panels, stuck his phone down there with a light, and anybody want to guess what he found? Anybody?
A jar
I'm
with
guessing
human
Abigail.
heart. A jar of human heart.
He found a human skull.
Ah, okay.
It was Abigail's skull.
This is an Edgar Allan Poe Daku. Get out of here, Telltale Heart.
Sorry.
This is Naomi and Abigail.
Sorry. God.
So he's finding all this crazy shit in his home, bones, and he's asking them, like, who killed you? And they all said, Edmund. And he asked Edmund, who is the only voice I can actually distinguish when he records these, because it's so deep, and it's one of those voices that kind of hits you and makes your spine kind of shiver. He asked Edmund directly, like, did you kill Abigail? And Edmund has said yes. And I mean, it's not like he can get in trouble or go to prison. How are you gonna put a demon in prison?
Is it
So
just me? Is it
There's
just
ways.
me, or is Edmund a very common ghost name? I've met a few people that
know
have
what?
had Edmund encounters. Edmund is such a common ghost name.
Actually, hold on.
It really
I think I know
is.
exactly what you're talking about. I've actually. He was like he used to build houses.
He built he did not build houses. He originally started out as like a tack maker, so like saddles, bridles, things like that. In his barn that was behind his house. And then he moved into the mortuary business.
Well, if this is the same Edmund, I think, and I could be wrong. There could just be, like Daku was saying, multiple individuals with the same name being creepers. He built his house, and he was like, he not just did the saddle tacking, He also did like designs, like
You know
plans,
what? I
stuff
think
like
he
that.
may have done like furniture.
Yeah, and in one of his houses, he had a seance room as well, where he was not a good juju man in there.
Okay, hold on. You're getting ahead in the story here.
Okay,
Because
okay.
it wasn't necessarily Edmund that did it. Hold on.
Yeah, yeah,
Pause there, hold that thought. We will continue that in like
yeah.
a few
Yeah,
moments. Hold that thought.
while you continue your story, I'm going to investigate if this
You're
is the
going too
same
far.
Edmund.
Shush.
You said what was
The
his
Lamb
portal in his
House.
home called? Lamb
The
House.
Ghost of
Okay.
Carmel Lane or the Lamb House or the House from Hell or with Hell
Yeah,
in
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Alright.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I'll let you continue. Jog my memory, and I'll do some research on my end while you're doing that. I'll be right back.
Alright. Alright. So he found these human remains and he's helped I believe it was Abigail he helped move on, if I remember correctly. I couldn't find the exact video, but he definitely helped either Abigail or Naomi. One of them is now no longer in the home and was released to go to wherever they go when they're gone. Um, but Abigail and Naomi were also very helpful to Kent, almost protective in a way. Like they would warn him if Edmund was coming or if like he was about to be pushed down the stairs. So they would tell him like, "Be careful, watch out, Kent, leave the house." Like they use his name. So these ghosts are these spirits are very much like attached to Kent at this point. Now we're going to get into the basement.
You know what?
Which
We love a basement. We love running and ignoring a basement. I hate
so
basements.
most people, when they turn off the lights in their basement and they're going up the stairs, they run because there's nothing there. Excuse me. But because there's nothing there, but you're seeing a bunch of black and you're afraid something might pop out. For Kent, that's a very real fear of his because in his basement just so happens to be a portal to hell. Which is absolutely terrifying because as Kent started investigating Abigail and Naomi, he also started investigating his own family tree and his own family line and their practices and beliefs. So Kent had his father and his father's mother both practiced witchcraft. His father's mother also, when she practiced witchcraft in her earlier days, and this is according to the videos and this is according to what has been said within these videos, the spirits believe that his father was actually conceived by his mother from Satan.
Oh, okay. So the daddy. Satan is daddy. Got it.
Yes, Satan is
Actually,
daddy.
it would be grandpa. Satan is grandpa at this point, right? Or great grandpa? How many generations?
Grandpa.
It would be his grandpa. Okay.
It would be
Okay.
his grandpa.
That's fine. That's fine. It's cool. It's cool. It's fine. We're cool. We're good. Yep. I love
So
this.
yeah, it's wild because as he's starting to investigate his own family line, the demons started to decided that they're going to start ramping up what they're doing. They're asking for Kent's blood. They're trying to kill Kent. Like they're trying to scare him. They're trying to push him downstairs. They're making wounds on his body. They're really ramping it up for this man because his family, according to his grandmother, has a blood curse on them. And the specific blood curse that this line has to do with spirits being attached to you and you attaching yourself to these spirits and not wanting to leave where you're at because of wanting to help them or wanting to figure out what's going on.
But his existence is also like basically on top of that, he's like a tether for them into this reality. So he's like a tether for sure, which is even scarier because the more he stays there, the more he's just gonna keep them lingering there because they seem to be attached to him or tethered to him.
That and the fact that he has a wife, he has children, he has sons, and rest in peace to his oldest, who actually recently passed in a car crash.
Oh.
But he has 3 sons, and he has a daughter, and he has a granddaughter. And the spirits know his family. Like, they ask for his granddaughter by name almost every day because the spirits like his granddaughter, while the demons are like, yeah, let's kill her type of deal. Like, they're going at it for this, trying to end this bloodline, trying to get Kent to give them his blood. So on to kind of where Kate was leading. Hattie was Edmund's wife, but she is a suspected witch, and according to the spirits at the home, and she herself confirmed to Kent that she performed witchcraft. More specifically, she performed blood rituals.
Okay. Yeah.
She used blood magic, which is, don't do that. It's bad juju all around.
Don't do blood magic.
Never. Don't do blood magic.
No blood magic.
It's all about intent, but don't do it. And all the spirits hate her for what she did, and she has warned Kent to leave the home before. So he believes she wasn't trying to be malicious with what she did and was probably coerced by Edmund to do the bad things. But yeah, she does blood magic, which is great. So all the spirits claim Edmund are the reason they are stuck. Like, he's the bodyguard to their path to the afterlife, and he is such an imposing and threatening presence that even the actual demons don't want to be around Edmund. Like, they'll clear out to get away from him. Yeah, never listen to an Edmund.
Yep, don't trust an Edmund.
Can't trust them.
Sorry. Yeah, there's like
no, you're good.
There's a few because there's a few cases, and the ghost is usually named Edmund, and I'm like, why is that a common ghost name? But it might have been just a popular name back in the day, so could be a name that's died out now, but it was probably just really popular back in the day, just like there was a bunch of Bills, aka Williams, all over the place.
Right. Yeah. It actually, the interesting part of that is there's a different house, because this is the farmhouse, right? So there's a different house by a different Edmund, and they did similar investigations and similar. The ghost was Edmund, I believe, or Edwin. I have to look it up, but again, blood rituals, seances, stuff in one of the lower rooms. And they use this cool thing, which I personally want more information on. I want this more readily available to investigators, called a geobox, where basically, you know how they have the static boxes where they scan the channels and you hear voices in the white noise. It basically mutes all the white noise and you only hear the voices.
Yeah, that would be
it
nice.
Still scans and yeah, it's really cool because it still scans. It just isolates the voices. So you hear the static, but it's very, very low. And then when a voice comes through, it's very, very high. So it's got a I guess voice isolating technology in it. And I think only 2 investigative teams have it.
I would love for Kent to have one because the white noise, I have terrible hearing when it comes down to it, and I can't make out these voices until I see like closed captions on them. So that would be really nice to have.
I'm surprised Zach Baggins hasn't decided to investigate this. Or has he?
Honestly, hold on.
He probably, he's got to get permission anyway.
Oh,
But a
gotcha.
lot of
What's his
people
name?
aren't.
Zach Bagel
Zach
Bites. I mean
Baggins.
Baggins. It's Baggins.
Bagel bites. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people are moving away from Zach Baggins because of some
Yeah.
of controversy coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they
He
just
doesn't get
decline.
permission. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, all different paths, different stuff, but I think the museum could be a little more respectful. And we've visited it before, and had experiences in them, but like they have a whole bed, like a whole room from where somebody was killed, and you just get full access to that. Like I said, I think they could be a little more respectful with it, but
Yeah.
to each their. And I understand they're trying to make it a more interactive,
Yeah.
situation. And they rebuilt like Kevorkian's office in the museum as well, with original paints by Kevorkian and stuff like that. And yeah, again, there's more respectful things to do.
Yeah. All right, continue on. Sorry.
No, you're good. So I don't think he's been to the Lamb House. From what I just looked up, I don't think he's been there. But in general, all this to say is that these spirits are stuck and they cannot leave this plane of existence that they were forcefully put on, and it's all because Edmund and Hattie made a pact with evil to invite this hellmouth into their home, and it keeps the spirits bound until Kent helps them however he helps them. One of the big things that, not really the biggest, but a pretty big thing that led him to the blood magic theory and confirming it was in the bathroom, he found a lockbox wrapped in a strange material, and it contained human hair, teeth,
Ugh.
crudely drawn ruins on little
Ooh.
tokens, and a small herb knife.
Lovely.
So,
Lovely.
yeah.
I love that. Yep. Love that.
And for those that don't really know anything about like witchcraft and the significance of numbers, 13 is very significant because it represents death in most witchcraft. Even in like practicing Wicca, 13 is a sign of death. And throughout all of this and him looking back on what he's gone over already, like 13 pops up a lot. And with the blood curse, a lot of his family members, when they've passed away, everything adds up to the number 13 for death.
Ugh.
Coincidence? Possibly. It's really interesting to think that, this curse is like, oh, well, this adds up to 13, so see you later.
Oof.
Yeah. And the spirits and even the demons have also confirmed that they knew of the blood curse for Kent's family. And even the witches, so his dad and his grandmother, the spirits and the demons all knew that Kent's bloodline had this curse, had this magic in them. And at one point, he swears his father actually came to the house to try and warn him because one of the voices he picked up sounded very much like his father before he had passed.
What
So
does this guy look like?
Kent?
Yes.
He's a big burly dude with a beard.
Oh, he got a fabulous beard from what I'm seeing. He got a Santa beard in this picture that I found of him.
Go live. Here he is.
Oh, let me pop it up over here for everybody. There he is. Look at that beard. Look at that glorious beard. I like his beard. It's a nice beard.
Yeah, and he's really, honestly, the people that follow him on Facebook, he's really sweet, kind, and courteous. Like, he interacts with people that make comments. So, whether or not you believe in this, he makes you kind of want to believe, even though he himself is a skeptic. And he maintains he's a skeptic of the supernatural. Even after all this shit he's done. Like, I wouldn't say it's shit, actually, but even after all this that he's done and seen and witnessed and felt, he still maintains he's a skeptic.
Interesting. But that's, to me, that part is interesting, that he's a skeptic of it all. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Like, after all this stuff that's happened to you, that's happened to your family, being
Like,
pushed down the stairs
how does
by
he explain it
nothing.
if he doesn't believe it? How does he explain it? Does, like, how, like, what does, how, like, what does he think it is? If it's not spirits and if he's a skeptic, like, does he think he's just clumsy and almost fell down the stairs by himself? Like, what?
So it might not be that he's a overall skeptic. Like the encounters that he witnesses, I'm sure that he has a believability factor on that. But skeptics are usually individuals who do not trust without proof.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
other ghost stories, other things that individuals say, stuff like that, he might not believe right off the bat until
Mm-hmm.
he has evidence. So you can be an optimistic skeptic. You can be a believer skeptic, but I think he tries to be more on the air of skepticism versus blind belief.
Yeah, he's been quoted, like, after all this, he's been quoted, believe it or not, I am a skeptic. For me to believe something is paranormal, they need to prove it to me that this is paranormal related.
Yeah.
So I think what you're saying, Kate, is very much him. And I also think he's trying to keep a neutrality about this just because of what he's filming and because there are people that are going to doubt this, which obviously this shit's crazy. Like, really, spirits are leading you to human bones beneath your floorboards?
Right, right. And I think the level-headedness, what you're explaining as well, trying to keep neutral, trying to be Switzerland. He doesn't want to believe that every creak in the night in an old house is a spirit, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why he remains skeptical.
Well, and on top of that, to add to that, when you're doing this type of thing, your energy really shapes the the things you experience with this. If you're going in thinking, son of a bitch, if you're going in thinking, they're gonna kill me, they're gonna attach themselves to me, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna attach themselves to you. They're going to terrorize you until the day you die, either from them or from natural causes. And I think that also plays a huge factor. Just while he maintains he's a skeptic, and I do appreciate that about him, I also really believe he's not trying to feed energy back into these beings in a negative manner.
Right, right. Which leads into the whole theme. It seems theme of this episode.
Which is the
Belief.
internet lore thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Belief brings it out.
The tulpas, 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 tulpas.
Right. And
So don't believe
I'm a
it.
big believer in like what you put out into the world is what you get back. Like your energy out to the universe comes back. Um, so if you're gonna freak out in an environment, you're gonna get high anxiety energy back, right?
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
and that's where a lot of PK manifestations come from as well, based off of just psychology and, well, I guess parapsychology, I should say, because it's paranormal. Basically, when somebody is believed to have that psychic ability and doesn't know how to control it, and their energies get overamped, or anxiety, or even during puberty it starts to become a poltergeist, or PK, which is what is it called? It's something kinesis. I can't remember. physical kinesis, basically, um, where their energy transmutates into a thought, like a whatever anxieties or whatever they end up, and that's where you get like open drawers and chairs flipping and stuff like more amped energy reactions.
All right. Do we have
Yeah.
more on the Ghost of Carmel?
Just one last thing.
Okay.
The spirits and the demons also confirm that Baal or Baal in Egyptian faith
Yes.
is basically overseeing this happening.
Okay, that's cool. That's crazy scary, but cool.
And they say that because he was a child. His father was a child born out of wedlock to supposedly Satan, and Baal is known for children sacrifice. So it kind of ties in to make sure that he's watching this all unfold.
Yep, that's crazy. Old gods coming back.
Yep.
Issa Wild. Issa Wild. And who said they good anyway? I mean, like, maybe they manifest into what? Did you got? Oh my gosh, it's so off topic, and not for this episode, but there is a internet theory of individuals that tie the Ragnarok to the Old Testament flowing into New Testament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you should. It's a whole series.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Basically, the theory is that Loki faked his death, and because the whole prophecy of Ragnarok, right? So Loki faked his death and became Jesus.
All right, we're gonna take a quick breaker, you guys. We just finished with our topics, and then after our break, we're gonna go and move on to the ghoulish bites. So everybody, go and grab yourself something to drink. Use the bathroom. We're gonna do a quick 90-second break, and then we'll get into the ghoulish parts of this thing. And while we're at it, Brytt, go and think about your favorite snack, because I'm gonna ask you what your favorite snack is. So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick pauser right now, and we're gonna run a quick ad, and we'll be back after this ad. I'll see you guys soon. All right, we are back. How are you two doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really appreciative that you guys or there we go. There we go. I'm really appreciative that you guys were here, because this has been a really strange week for sure. It's a lot's been going on this week, and it's been rough, and even our podcast today was interrupted And we're really hoping for our beautiful co-host Miso to recover. She's not feeling that great and she has to go lie down, but we appreciate her hanging out in the chat and keeping us company. She's with us in spirit forever, okay? We love her.
Forever. As long as we believe, right?
We believe
She's
in
the only thing we
Miso.
can believe in.
We believe.
Yeah.
We believe in Misos. We do. We do. All right. So the Ghoulish Bites is pretty much just an end segment that we have for the podcast. And basically, this is our little area where we talk about our favorite snacks with our guests. And then on top of that, we also like to talk about things that are relating to the topic that aren't big enough topics, or anything that we want to bring up as discussions from the topics that were mentioned today, or anything that was missed. So the Ghoulish Bites is like a little. It's a little wind down and a little exploratory segment where we can talk about other things relating to this stuff. Like you were mentioning blood rituals earlier, if anyone wanted to touch up on that one. And I actually find this very, very interesting, the Ghost of Carmel. I've never heard of it before until you mentioned it. And I was so excited when you were talking about it. I'm like, you know what? You seem to know a lot about this. I was just like, why don't you just be a part of our podcast and talk about it yourself? Because you brought it up for me as a topic to cover. And I'm like, nah, I think that you are the best suited person for covering this, because you were definitely, like, you had a good amount of information on this. But yeah, what is your favorite snack, my dear? Do you have a favorite snack that's your default snack or current snack? Right now I've got a current snack that it's a weird snack, but it's what I've been enjoying. Like right now I've been eating mini cucumbers, and I add tahini to them, so I slice them up and add them with tahini with a little bit of fish sauce, because I like the saltiness of the fish sauce, and I just eat them straight up like that. And literally that's been what I've been snacking on for like 3 weeks. It's like whenever I'm wanting a snack, I'll go and get myself some cucumbers and mix up some fish sauce and tahini and eat my cucumbers that way. So what's your current snack?
I can verify that. Last time I did an episode with her, she was eating tahini and cucumbers.
Tahini is delicious.
Oh yeah, especially on cucumber or watermelon. Oh, it is delightful.
I don't like watermelon.
She was secretly from Spanish or Hispanic descent in a past life, and so
I mean,
she's all over that tahini.
I am from the Philippines, and the Spaniards, well, tahini is more of a Mexican spice than a Spanish spice, so I don't know, maybe it's because I'm in California. Maybe it's just because I'm in California that I'm like obsessed with tahini. It's just exposed to me.
Have you gone to any of those street trucks that have the fruit and tahini?
Of course. Actually, a couple of the malls here, if you go to a shopping mall, they'll have a fruit stand, and the fruit stand will have chamoy and tahini that they put on their fruits. And they also have corn, like places that you can buy corn that's mixed with a bunch of different things that you can eat, like that. And yeah, tahini is really, really popular. I see it everywhere. And like I said, even our malls have like little tiny booths that have fresh fruits that people cover in chamoy and tahini that you can just buy, like a cup full of fruits with tahini and chamoy.
Yeah, my ex was all over it, so definitely. I'm aware. It's our region.
So what's your current favorite snack, or what's always been your favorite snack if you've had a snack that's your go-to snack forever?
Dill pickle spears with cream cheese.
Ooh, I've never tried
Ooh,
that.
you should wrap them. You should wrap them in salami or
I
cold
do.
meat.
Oh
Oh my god, yeah, that was one of my family's like hors d'oeuvres during like family events.
Mine too.
So good.
And it's so
Oh,
good.
So good. I
Sounds
actually
so
want some
good.
now.
Me
yeah.
too.
Me and my sister are weirdos. We also like our pickles with fruit roll up, and we add chamoy and tahini to it too. We love that shit. We love that shit. Fruit roll ups and pickles, a good combo. We love it.
You know, I was actually so close to you this whole last week, Brytt. I was like, oh, maybe I should go to Ohio. But
All you
Must
had to
be
do is
nice.
send us a message.
Must be nice. You're like, I'm just gonna go to Ohio today. It's nice that I can just be like, I'm going to Ohio. It's fine. Whatever. It's cool.
right. Well, I was in Missouri, you know, because of family stuff. So, and yeah, actually, that brings me to my segue about about spooky bites. You know, my grandmother who had passed. My mother had gathered a lot of recipes when we were down in Missouri, and one of the things were holiday snacks. She would always send us holiday snacks, and um, Halloween was the biggest theatrical one. We would have cupcake spiders and funnel cake spider
Ugh.
webs and stuff like that. Oh my god. Yeah, tell me about it.
You guys do
So we'll probably.
Halloween. I do a lot of the theme stuff because I used to host Harry Potter parties
Mhm.
where we have like people dress up as their actual house that they took a test for, and we have
Mhm.
contests with board games and trivia, and I make a bunch of different foods that are Harry Potter inspired. Like I have my own recipe for butterbeer. I also know how to make butterbeer jello shots. And then I
Oh
make
god.
all sorts of
Ooh.
desserts. I am pretty proud of my pumpkin pasties because my pumpkin pasties are more savory than sweet dessert like. So it's more like an empanada instead of like a sweet dessert that you usually see at Universal. So I have all sorts of recipes that I specifically learned and put together specifically for when I used to host Harry Potter parties, which I
Uh,
don't do
like how
anymore.
I like how you say pasties like an American. Like they're they're pasties, okay? They're pasties. Oh goodness.
Pasties.
Pasties. So pasties.
Pasties. Got it. Pasties.
Yeah, there's like Cornish
No, hold on.
pasty,
My
you know?
headphones are dead. Gold. I gotta plug it in. I forgot to charge it in. There we go.
Okay,
It should be
so
back.
while Daku can't hear us,
There we go. I
just
can hear
make
you.
fun of
I can hear you. I
her
can hear
oh,
you. I can hear you.
make fun of her American sayings, as we're both Americans.
It just feels
Um,
awkward to say pasties. It just because I just want to say
Yeah.
pastels or yeah. For me, I
right,
just like
right.
pasties because I like to call them pasties, like the things that you stick to your boobas to wear underneath
Right,
dresses.
right, right. Imagine my embarrassment when I was speaking with my British friends and said, "Oh yeah, let's go to Cornish pasty."
Oh
Oh my lord.
no!
But yeah, good times, good times. Very American of me. Very, very, very demure. Very cutesy.
When
Oh,
did that become a
Jesus.
thing? Like I walk into the internet and I'm like, there's a new thing that's trending. I'm like, what the fuck is go? How did this come to be? Oh internet,
So,
oh internet, your lore
so
things are
this proves
insane.
this proves to me that you're not too active on the tickety talk. It's a big thing with there was a content creator calling out individuals who overdress or mean girls in the workplace, right? Where they do like really sharp makeup and shame people for not doing their makeup.
Mhm.
Oh, I would be
So
shamed
she
all
was
the
like,
time then. Fuck. Oh man.
but but basically that was the thing. Like she did minimal makeup because she's trying to keep it professional, and she's trying to be approachable, and that was her thing. Look at my makeup. Look how demure, cutesy, very approachable.
Gotcha. And this is like in the past week and a half that this started trending. Like, when did this? Because it's like
That's where I found it.
it literally. I found it on Twitter like
Yep, yep.
yesterday, and I'm like, what is this? And then people are like, oh, the word demure is now considered insulting, and I'm like, what? What? When?
Yeah,
Why?
demure demure was never really insulting. It just depends the context, I guess.
I
But
guess.
Yeah.
yeah, so a lot of people like demure is, like oh, subtle and girly, It's always been associated with that type of thing, like meek, um, not aggressive type. But I'll send you the TikTok.
Oh,
But yes,
yay. Yay, I'm
it's been
excited to. Yep.
right, right, right.
Love to see that in my
Just so you
feed
can
because I
see the
clicked
original.
on one video that mentions it and now it's going to be all over my feed. It's great.
Listen, listen. You know what? My feed is like 90% Chapel Roan, so I'm just like, okay, Pink Pony Girl. Okay, okay.
Oh my
We're
god.
dancing at the club, Pink Pony Club. Got it, got it. So it's Chapel Roan and Kamala
Yeah.
Harris. Yeah, I didn't want to butcher her name there. Very, very not demure, not cutesy.
Now I know why it's trending and why people keep on saying demure is now considered like an insult. And I'm all like, what? I don't understand. It's fine. It's fine. It's the internet, you guys. I just roll with it. It's just, yeah. My age is showing, I know. It's great. It's great. Oh, man.
Wait, aren't I older than you? No, wait. We're
Dad, no,
we're
you are
same age.
not.
Yeah.
You are not.
No.
I think
Yeah,
you're at
we're-
least
we're
like,
on the same
I
age.
think you're at least 3 years younger than me.
No. I think we established that I was like a year or something within.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it later.
Yes. Yes. No age speak on this channel,
right.
my friends.
So, one of the things that you that you sent was a picture of something. What is this a picture of, my dear Brytt?
That's the.
Okay,
Put it up.
Put it on the stump. Put it on the stump.
Put it on the stump. What?
That's our table. Put it on the stump.
Do you have it pulled up? I just want to know because you posted it, and I'm all like, "Am I supposed to share this?" And I didn't know what it was, and then you're like, "Oh, we can talk about it during the Ghoulish Bites segment." So,
Yeah, that's her blood ritual stuff. Don't believe it, but that's what they use. It's an herb knife with the runes.
Yeah. I don't have it actually saved.
oh,
so...
I have it. Let me just save it in my
Okay.
files, and I can hand it over to the thingamajiggy.
To the stump.
Thank you.
The stump. Put
To
it on
the
the
stump.
stump.
Dagger and what is the dagger? And I don't know what these are. Coins. I'm just gonna call them
Runes.
coins. Oh yeah,
That's fine.
Yep. I'm just gonna call them coins. It's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna put it on the dagger, or I'm gonna put it on the stump. I'm not gonna.
Uh-huh.
Yep. You know what I mean.
You're gonna put the stump on the dagger. I get it. That's called stabbing, and it's very frowned upon.
All right. Oh God, it's so huge. Please hold. It's covering our faces.
It's not very approachable.
Okay, so what is this? What is this? It looks like a smiley face with the two.
Oh Lord.
It looks like it looks like a smiley face. What?
It kind of does look like a face,
Yeah, a little bit,
especially
yeah.
with Rick and Morty eyes.
Yeah. That is the herb knife and the runes
Oh,
that
the
add
thing
up
that
to
they found.
13 for
Okay.
Kent.
How does that add
Yeah.
up to 13? Explain that.
The Roman numerals, I believe, is what they are. Yeah, the Roman numerals. They add up to 13. I don't know I know the X is 5. That much I know. So 8 is the other
Like a
one.
tally, guys. So when you have an X and that's the 5,
Mhm.
when you add a 1, and this is his tally, it's a 10.
So it's like cross. It's
So
like
it's
It's like God, I can't remember what they're called now. When you're crossing off every 5, but this one it's just every line is a number. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So for example, before 5, well, these aren't Roman numerals.
Yeah, I
These
don't.
are not.
Yeah, I'm
Roman
trying to
numerals,
calculate
but,
how.
I can't remember what
The-
numerals they're from. I just know that they're runes. They add up to 13, and very
These are
specifically
Norse.
the one that looks like a Rick and Morty eye. It was carved in a way to leave a triangle in the middle because triangles hold a great amount of power in Wiccan or witchcraft rituals.
Mm.
So and it would also, those rune little token things would also have been smeared in the practicee's blood.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, nice. All right.
blood magic.
Oh, okay. That's great. Yep. Love it. Is it sad that all I see is like cartoon cat butts with those X's?
Yes, it is very sad. That means you look at too many cat butts. Or rather, should I say your cat puts its butt in your face too often.
Well,
Are you okay? Do we need to send help?
I was just like, what on earth? But yeah, so that's what that was. So that's the herb. So that's what he found underneath was the herb knife. So that's what an herb knife looks like. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's the herb knife with the hair, the teeth, and all that fun stuff in it.
It looks like the
And the
tree stump's just
tokens.
smiling at us. It's just a smiling tree
Ye-
stump now.
You know, actually, there are more scary herb knives, and I don't know why. An herb knife of all things is so scary. Like there are some that are um like a butterfly blade. You know how they open up.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. Oh my god, they're terrifying, terrifying herb knives.
Oh, okay.
Wild.
Interesting. Anything you
Yeah.
guys want to talk about in the Ghoulish Bite segments? I didn't have any questions because I couldn't hold myself back and ask them during the presentations today. I just had no control over here. So,
You're fine.
yeah, anything you guys want to bring up? Any other topics before we wrap up in conclusion?
I still think you should look into the SCPs. I think you would really like those.
Yeah.
They are pretty cool.
Okay. All right, so if that's everything, I guess it's time to wrap up the podcast. Our first podcast without the beautiful Meso Thorny, which we miss so much, but she's with us in spirit. And also, I had to bring up the cat butts and buttholes just to help fill in, just to fill in a little bit.
I get no. We understand you're being harassed by your cat, and we need to send help and make sure that your life is assholeless. Got it. Got it. Or at least less assholey.
All right. So for those of you guys that came in, we've got the amazing Bryttersbear who joined us, who is also a streamer who sometimes streams, and she is a big part of the Black Collar Collective, which is the group that we're a part of that we do a lot of charities for. And then of course KatesElegy is one of our honorary spooky ghouls. She is co-hosting for today because she is just that bitch. She was here. She's like, you need me, I am there, and we really appreciate you, Kate, for stepping in for me. So, and maybe someday you'll have to step in for me when I'm feeling sick. So it's really great to have you guys. So all of us are a part of the Black Collar Collective, and this is what we do for fun. And I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. But before we get going, I have some news for you guys. We've got some Thick and Spooky Ghouls merch. So I know that our merch stuff was actually removed because of the fact that Stream Elements got rid of their shop, and I had to remake all of the shirts that I made for the Thick and Spooky Ghouls. But we now have our official Thick and Spooky Ghouls and pins right over here. They're actually really cool. So we have an official Thick and Spooky Ghouls pins that you guys can get. We also send this as gifts for some of our co-hosts and all that stuff, and we'll probably raffle some off. But they're these amazing wooden pins with the Thick and Spooky Ghouls logo on it, as you can see. It's got me and Meso's lips in the background. It's got our title over there. It's got the website and the Spotify that we usually have our podcasts in. But it's a beautiful wooden pin, and now we've got merch for them. So if you're interested in the Thick and Spooky Ghouls pins, go ahead and contact me and I'll talk to you guys about how you can obtain them. But yeah, they're recycled material. They're made out of wood. This one's the cherry wood. You guys can see they're kind of thick, but they're very cute. So now we officially have very demure Thick and Spooky Ghouls pins, which
Oh my god, Raven. Very demure.
very demure.
Cutesy,
But yeah,
very
so
approachable.
I'm really
very
excited about this.
Biodegradable.
I was gonna have the beautiful Meso Thorny open her package because I sent it to her because even she didn't know that I was up to some shenanigans, and this is the shenanigans that I was trying to hold from her, and I've been holding the secret for like 2 months, you guys. I've been holding the secret for 2 months, and I really wanted to like have her actually open it up so I could see her actual genuine reaction to it. But yeah, we've got some Thick and Spooky Ghouls merch. We've got our official Thick and Spooky Ghouls pins over here. And yeah, I really like them. And like I said, we'll be giving them away as raffles for when we do charity events and stuff like that. For those of you guys that, can't donate or can't buy one, well, you can win one by participating simply in our charity segments and so on and so forth. So we really do appreciate you guys. Again, thank you, Brytt. Thank you, Kate. We really appreciate you coming in. Like I said, I'm sorry, Brytt, you couldn't join us with your wife Miso, aka my waifu. So apparently the wife and waifu decided to join forces while our sick wife is recovering right now. So sending healing energy to our beautiful Miso Thorny. We miss you. The podcast is not the same without you. And we really, really do appreciate you so much for everything that you do for the podcast, Miso. I don't think you understand just how important you are and how vital you are. And Kate, seriously, we really appreciate you stepping up and being Icon co-host, which is absolutely fantastic because you've been our honorary Thick and Spooky Ghouls. You guys will see Kate here quite frequently in the channel as a part of the podcast. So I'm really glad to have you guys. So while we're at it, let's go ahead and get everything set up. Oh, do we have anything that I need to look at over here? Oh yeah, Miso's gone to bed. But yeah, let's go ahead and get our pod raid message. Do you guys want to say anything? Do you want to plug anything, Brytt or Kate? Go ahead and plug it while I get our raid set up and find our target for the raid.
I got nothing to plug. Thank you, though.
Of
It was
course.
fun.
Nothing to plug other than, that cherry wood is actually real high quality, guys, so you definitely want to get on that while they are still there. So, cherry wood is actually, I used to woodwork. So I used to love cherry wood. It was so good. So definitely high quality, and I'm gonna be trying to snipe one. So if you guys don't get it first, you better not complain when I got them all.
All right, I think I have my sights set on our target. We're gonna go ahead and take this party over to this person that I was introduced to not so long ago called Sharky Malarkey. So let's show them some love. And again, I really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Brytt. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you enjoyed the segment. We'll hang out in the Black Collar Collective chat and maybe watch some of those vids. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we
And
can.
I want to thank you for sharing your space and allowing me to join again.
Oh, you are vital and important, and you know that I appreciate every time you show up here. So you are an honorary spooky ghoul, and you know this. So we really appreciate you. So let's go ahead and take this party over to Sharky Malarkey. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Oh, before we go, we don't have Miso here, so we're gonna have to do our outro. So the way it works is I say we'll stay thick, and then our guest usually says and then Miso normally would say will stay stay thick and we'll stay spooky. So I'm gonna say we'll stay thick. Britt's gonna say and Kate, you're gonna be we'll stay spooky. That's your line. And we're gonna try and coordinate this. So
Okay, all right.
All right.
This is a change up on my usual.
we're really
line,
bad.
so-
Okay, so we'll stay thick.
And
Wait, you stay spooky. Well, I think you said the wrong line there, Daku. Wasn't
No,
you
we'll stay thick.
No, and you stay spooky. Yeah. I was like, okay.
Well,
Want to try it one more time?
all
Let's do
right.
it.
We'll stay thick.
and
You stay spooky.
Yeah.
We
Great.
got it. Threw me off. It's the and. It's the and.
The end. Here we go.
Oh Lord. I was like, wait a minute, hold on.